Hello everyone. Hello, Katie here. Katie Sanctuary, new name, same person. Today I wanted to touch base on the work planner I had set up because last year around this time, I still was stumbling around with the paper test managers. I had an A5 Slim. I would keep setting it up for probably through April, I want to say. And then I couldn't use it. It was too complicated and I needed something simpler. I could see going back to that maybe in a couple years, but for my current needs, I just need to kind of track what I'm doing and know the deadlines. And then I'm still working on a schedule. I have it like half done and I've been practicing it each week to see what my cadence is with how I'm putting out content and how I balance that out with my coaching, and then how to balance that out with putting out a podcast. I guess that's content, but there's multiple things that I'm doing. And I just realized I didn't swap out my February. So sorry, that was my card there for my weekly planning. So let me swap this out really quick because I like to have this updated. Anyway, as I'm doing this, I can kind of talk. It's been working really well. These are thick, so that's why I thought I had more than one. I find that I'm using it quite a lot. I am keeping it out to see what I'm up to, and gotta be a little careful with that. And overall, it feels really good. Feels really good, and it feels good to have it separate. I thought, oh, well, maybe I'll regret it and I'll want to have it all together. Right now, I just have my infusions marked here because sometimes it helps to know, like, if I'm planning content, what infusion is coming up. I still have, my vision board here. I'm doing some other tracking that I'm not going to share quite yet. So I was drifting a little off screen there. So now I'm like looking at my monthly, and I like to see it in a month view, and I'm trying to decide, do I use this as like upcoming dates, or do I use this as when the content goes out? And I think it's going to be the latter. I think it's going to be like what actually is posted, because in the weekly, you'll see like I have the dates on there when I'm wanting things to be posted. So this is what actually was posted, and it doesn't help me to like put a wish date on here and then have to move it, although that's why I still use erasable pens. But it helps on here to see color codes because of what I'm posting on different platforms. Primarily, I have my podcast, and then I have early release of my podcast and early release of videos on Patreon, and then I have YouTube. And so it's trying to keep those all straight because I want to see like how things look for people who don't have subscriptions, and then what it looks like for people who do. So that's what I'm trying to kind of balance out here. And I haven't written too much here yet, but I think this is, again, recording what's actually happened instead of future planning. I do have like some quarterly planning here that maybe I could do some future planning with, but I'm going with what is working right now. So I have monthly that I flip to, and then a yearly that I'm not quite sharing quite yet. And then I can flip to the weekly here, and the weeklies have been working really well. The weeklies here are, again, no decoration at all. I love the bare bones of it, but I'm using this side as like what actually is posted, and what I want to post in the future. So this is where I kind of like future post, like this is what I hope comes out on certain days, and I want to see certain colors. Ultimately, I want to see the colors spread out so that they're not all jumbled, that the Patreon is having different days of things coming out, and then YouTube is having different days. So it's just kind of more spaced out, because right now I have these heavy content days and then everything kind of comes out at once, and it's not quite working yet. So I'm playing around with a digital schedule in my Google to block off days and move things around. This is like dinner and making dinner. And then I do continue to work into the evenings a bit. And these are like appointments. So I had my chiro and my shot this week. But as you can see, like I'll like record a bunch on a Thursday, edit on a Friday, and then they come out. Yes, my new name is on my channel here. And that just happened last weekend. It was one of those things that I'm like, it was so obvious. I don't know why I didn't do it earlier, but I'm recording here like I had my infusion and then I rested the rest of the day, which really helps to see, because then that allows me to go, wait, which days do I need as buffer days? So in case something like this happens where I'm out a day, it's what I just kind of described in my regular planning video. It was my plan with me. It was like, there's these elastic days where if I'm posting things and making sure they're ready by like Wednesday and Sundays, those are kind of like some good days that content is going out, or like Wednesdays and Saturdays. It could be a Tuesday. That's what I'm playing with a little bit, but Wednesdays and Sundays are like my popular days on my channel. And so when do I have windows of time to make content? And so I'd love to spread them out on a Monday and Tuesday. But when I have a Monday totally booked, which I've had infusions on Mondays for the longest time, I'm just kind of thankful that I didn't really ask for them here, but they just kind of lined up. I'm used to having a Monday that has a slow start or has an infusion, but my infusions are only every 8 weeks. So it's not like it's happening once a month or even multiple times. But having that Monday and being able to go, okay, I'll rest in bed, but kind of think through some content. And even if I'm getting out stickers, if I'm writing out a short little outline, if I'm doing some very minimal things on a Monday so that by Tuesday, I can file taxes. I can record a podcast, edit it, and get that all uploaded and ready. It's kind of tight to get that done for a Wednesday drop, but that's why I would prefer to try to spread it out between these 2 days. But I see these 2 days as like this expanding and contracting area of like, it'd be nice to spread it over 2 days, but it can contract to one. And then on Wednesdays, I needed some extra rest because of my infusion. Sometimes it hits me like midweek, and currently not having any flare-ups. Usually that's maybe once a month. It's not really hormonal or anything. Sometimes it's just something I eat. I'll wake up and my joints just ache. But I haven't had that for a while because I've been staying on top of my meds here. Wednesday is kind of a going out day, so I'm prepared to go to my chiro, and then come back and meal plan, because this is our day to get our order in to have a delivery on Friday for our groceries. And so it's just kind of blocked out with, I'll answer comments and check to make sure everything was posted okay, but I'm not creating content. And then I go back to creating content here and doing some admin. Like I need a new business debit card because they have 2 types of debit cards here in the Netherlands. They have ones you can use like online and ones you can't. So then I recorded that evening because I had like everything planned out for it. And then the next day I edited it, knowing that I needed to have them done by Sunday, but I wanted to clear out my weekend and have some like time here to just focus on other things. So again, this is another like time where Thursday, if I wasn't feeling well on a Thursday, which actually happened this last week, it could move to a Friday. So there's this kind of like contraction and expansion going on here. Would you call them stretch days? Like, I'm trying to see what this is kind of called. I don't know. Let me know what you think. But so here I was feeling a lot better, had my chiro, slept not great during the middle of the week because my allergies are kind of getting to me. So I rested this evening. But then I found like I had kind of a tough morning here. I actually napped until my appointment to get my shot. And then I rested after that. And then I just took off the rest of the day because I knew on Friday I could get some work done. Now, yesterday, Friday, here, we had some emergencies pop up with some lost cards that were floating out in the community, which could have been bad. So we were like freezing debit cards and stuff like that. And we were trying to make sure everything was okay. And so it kind of threw off my Friday as well as, you know, so I had to push things to Saturday. So that's when I'm filming now. And that's kind of like my last resort. I have to get some of these out by tomorrow. They're already filmed. I just need to edit it and put it up. But that's what I'm saying of like having this stretch time in here where the opposite, as I was explaining in my other video, was like, this can be used as a day to rest. But if it's not, if I'm feeling great, it actually contracts so that I'm getting stuff done early on a Thursday. And then I have a calmer Friday and nothing on the weekend. I mean, some of this makes logical sense, but what I have always felt was like, okay, it's a flexible schedule, right? But for me, I need like themes for each day. So I have, you know, admin, content, out, putting things out, and then doing kind of errands and stuff out, and then content, editing, and cleanup for the weekend. So like I also, admin on Fridays is like cleaning out my hard drive, cleaning out all my email, just doing these like wrap up things that help keep everything pretty clean. If I don't stay on top of that, my email just gets to be like 800 emails. And I know people have way more than that, but I like to keep it to, my magical number is about 140 emails that I have. Like most of them are just all flagged for things that just haven't happened yet, that I'm just keeping an eye on, an order that hasn't come, a appointment that I need to go to, correspondence I need to get back to. Like they've all been gone through. And there's stuff that's pretty old in there too, that is just stuff that, like I mentioned in my weekly, a shot that I needed to get last year. And then I rescheduled it, and then the snow came, and so I had to reschedule it for another month. Like it's those long-term things that I kind of keep in my email. But yeah, so I don't know if this helps at all. I also have like an area back here that I just keep a bunch of notes. So these bottom tabs are working so well. I don't primarily use these white tabs so much. They're more for, you know, the section. So this is my notes section, and those are my numbers for my branding colors. But this is like all weeks section in here. This is month section. This is like quarterly and yearly. But again, I'm using the bottom tabs, and they're holding up great to get to the actual week that I'm on. And it's just nice that they're clear. Sometimes every now and then I write on top of them, but I catch on pretty quickly. But it's just been really nice to have this down. What I'd love to update you all on next time is like having my schedule actually set. So as I said in YouTube, did I say this already? I'm getting mixed up in my videos a little bit. And I also was halfway into this video and realized I need to redo part of it. So in my Google Calendar, I am sectioning out kind of the typical week. And I have those, like, just what I explained, those blocking out days for certain themes. All this people have been doing for a long time, right? So I'm doing that, but then I'm also putting in the chunks where I do coaching and making sure that those are at a variety of times, because I am international now and I'm working with people in the US. But so I do work in the evenings, usually like 7. My time is like 10 a.m. there, or like 5 p.m. is like 8 a.m. there. So I'm trying to have some of those in the evenings and then have some for people here as well. So those are kind of earlier on some days. So I'm looking at those little pockets, putting that availability in my schedule, but it's not like all those are filled. Those get filled when it's not like I block those out specifically and I'm just sitting there not doing anything for coaching time. Like, does that make sense? Like, I'm not strict to it. I'm just like, oh, there's no coaching session today, so I'm going to keep working on other things, right? Makes logical sense. But again, I'm trying to balance like when these are coming out and that's where you want to start, right? Like, when are the things coming out, and then how do I backtrack that into my schedule? So that's what I'm hoping. And that's what I've been working on for the past couple of weeks, is just, I keep sliding things around and then trying it for the week. I think I was like really discouraged last year with the other planner because I wasn't staying on what I had planned. And it's very typical. I've experienced this so many times of like, well, I set this goal for January and it's February and I didn't get it done. So I'm kind of like all or nothing, right? Well, maybe I should just not do the whole thing at all, right? But this year I'm more like, no, we have to try something. So it's constant experiments and trying out, well, it didn't really work on this day, so let's move it to a different day and try it out for a week. And I don't consider anything set in stone, and I might never, now that I think about it, but I don't look at it as a schedule that is set until the rhythm feels good. And I haven't quite felt that yet, but I'm like, I feel halfway there, right? So I have my plan with me's, and then I have my podcast definitely coming out on Saturdays. And then I have my early stuff coming out on Patreon. But there's some other like things I want to put in between there, and I'm trying to figure those out. So yeah, it's nice to have the Google Calendar to just move things around. And then I have, I still have all my meals planned on there, so I can see those next to all my appointments. And then here, these are messy, but I love just seeing an X here and not seeing like dinner. Like, there's no words here, so I can totally ignore these. I could put like multiple lines, but the X, a messy X feels better, of like that. Nope, that's X'd out. You can't touch it. That is like permanent. So it also has been helping to see how much I'm getting done in the day and like when I'm getting it done. So yeah, I do film in the evenings a lot. It's also easier because it's dark outside, and sometimes I don't have to set up quite as much for my light to be on. The light really helps during the winter because it's steady, consistent lighting, and we're going to be getting into some sunnier days. But yeah, to me, I needed to see how busy I was, and this is helping a whole lot. I consider this a very productive day. If I'm resting a whole bunch too, I'm proud of that. So, to me, it's helping. And then when I go to this next week, I'm like, okay, these are the things I want to get out. See, this is what I want to focus on now, is that my Joy Journal is going out on 2 different platforms earlier. And then like, how does that rebalance? And then I definitely want these to be here. But now I'm looking at like this early release podcast. Yeah, I'll probably keep it on Wednesday, but this other writing piece, I think I want to move it to another day. So I'm just going week by week. I have not gone any further. These are all blank, but I love the possibility in these. I love seeing how blank these are. I don't feel like I'm tied down to anything. When I plan too far ahead, I'm like, oh no, everything's going to need to be redone by this point, but no. And then having this on the side with dates is perfect. I really, really hope she does not touch this. I really hope. So just want to give you a little update on that. I don't know if it would inspire you, or if you see what I'm doing and you're like, well, that would never work for me, but I could do this. I hope it inspires you that way as well. I keep a little blotting paper here. But that's about it. Like, I keep it really simple. And then I do some notes in the back, especially if I'm doing like an outline or something that I want to show written. Sometimes in my videos, I'll have it kind of written out and show that, but that's all that's in here, and it's working well. And the little happy bits are keeping me happy here. My little bunny corn is always looking at my week and inspiring me. So take care, everyone. Let me know if you have any questions, because sometimes it's just fun to talk about business and admin and that kind of stuff. I know not everyone is a business owner, but sometimes it's nice to show like a work schedule, or you can do the same for if you're homeschooling, or if you're doing another creative business out of your home. Yeah, any kind of thing. So take care, everyone, and consider liking and subscribing on the way out. And I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.